Hello there. Welcome. I'm Abhik Sarkar, and some of you may know me because you know me personally, while some of you may know me because you've seen this show on this channel. And to those people, thank you for sticking around. Today, I'm here with a brand new show, Architecturally Speaking. In this show, I'll be talking to some of the most brilliant minds in the field of architecture, and we'll learn what goes on inside the beautifully complex minds of theirs. And in that process, I hope that not just me, but you, the audience, will learn some new things, learn some new things and apply those things in your life. Without wasting any further time, let me introduce our guest for today's show. He is one of the most respected personas in his field. As an architect, his contributions through the decades have played an integral part in the development of our society, and now he shares all his knowledge, experiences, and time with the students of LSAD LPU as he helps shape a better future not just for the students but for the field of architecture in general. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome architect Himmat Bhatia sir as he joins us today to for the next half an hour or so. Welcome sir. Good evening.
Thank you very much, Abhik. I'm really honored to be a
Yes,
part
sir.
of this show.
It is all my pleasure sir to have you on this show. So sir शुरू कर दें?
Sure, sure, sure.
Yes, sir. So, for my first question, sir, how have you been in these last 2 years with respects to online teaching? Because you might agree with this that online teaching is less than ideal compared to the teaching in offline mode. So, how have you been able to maintain the same intensity in online mode?
Actually, it is very difficult to teach architecture design in online mode. So when this kind of coronavirus hit this area, hit our area, and I mean all the classes and all the universities and colleges, they just turned into the online mode. So because of the crisis that happens in across the world, so everyone is just finding ways, everyone just trying to find the ways and better ways to give something which really help the students future. So when it came, then it was kind of shocking to me, frankly speaking,
Yes,
because offline teaching and online teaching is completely different. So when students are there in front of you and they keep on discussing, it's a kind of face-to-face discussion. Then it is very easy
yes,
for us to guide the student, and our body language, our expressions, and the way what we want to express, and we want to make them also express their work. So that becomes very easy when we are in the offline mode. But when we jump to the online mode suddenly, so all of a sudden this crisis happens. So it was really shocking to me that how I could justify my teaching.
yes,
That was a thing that actually was there in my mind. So first 2 months, 2 to 3 months, I was just learning the best way to make the teaching almost similar to the offline mode.
yes,
So I just learned. So it was a
yes,
struggling period for me because offline, I know I'm the best.
yes, sir.
As far as I am concerned, I'm not talking about the others. They may be better than
Yes,
me, but
yes, sir.
because of being a teacher in this field since last 11 years, so I've been
Yes,
experimenting in my teaching so that I could improve upon all the time. But when I jumped to the online modes, then also I was just trying some better ways, some innovative ways, some creative ways to make my teaching better so that I could justify my teaching, as well as I could, I always think about the success of the students, and that should be ensured. That's what,
yes,
that was just a kind of, transition period for me. And after that, when I got to learn, then I just assimilated when your batch came in the first year. Then I was
yes.
little bit, well versed with this kind of online mode, and then I started doing, and I think I done well.
Yes, sir, it is quite evident. We have been witnessing your online teaching, sir. So we can say the best that you have done the best work that you could do on this online mode. So I would now like to take the clock some back time. When did it all start, sir? What was the inspiration behind taking up architecture? Was it something that you always wanted to do, or you were inspired from someone else? What was
No, not
the.
at all. I was not inspired by anything. I wanted to become engineer. Actually, my mind is technical mind. I always think
Yes.
about the logics. I want to think about that. I'll always think about the tangible things. So
Yes.
right from the beginning, my engineering or my physics and my mathematics were very, very strong.
Oh,
Right from the beginning, right from my childhood. But my father, he wanted me to become an architect.
wow.
Yeah, he was inspired by this, wonderful field. So he wanted me to become an architect. So he wanted me, then I joined. So when I
Wow.
joined, then I knew one thing. I knew one thing, that I am not so talented.
Why
I'm
is
not
that, sir?
talented. I don't have talent at all. My sketching was also not so good. I mean, it was pathetic. My sketching was pathetic. My design skills, so that is a separate thing. My drawing was very poor, but I worked very, very hard. People
Yes.
used to make one sketch. I used to make 10 sketches of the same building.
Wow.
Yeah, I worked very, very hard. Now, you guys, when you make your design, how many design concept or design sheets you make? One, two,
Uh,
three, four, five, six.
yes, sir. Not. I mean, ideally, just around five, I think.
Five. I used to make
Yes.
25 to 50. I mean,
Wow.
this was the kind of bundle which I used to make. So what was
Okay.
there in my mind? I just keep on thinking. I just trying to live with design.
Wow.
That was the
That.
patience and that was the hard work I tried to put in into my learning architecture. And then only I think that I am able to give something to my students because of that hard work.
Yes, sir. Because you've been part through of the same thing that we are going through right now, so
Yeah.
you can adjust that. Nice.
Yeah.
And sir, when you started out as an architect,
Hmm.
what were some of the projects like when you just started in your career? What were some of the things that you
Actually,
did?
I started my professional field right in the college time.
Wow.
Yeah, right during in fifth semester when students are just struggling to do work, I designed one house, 500
Wow.
square yard house in fifth semester.
Fif-
This is because one of my teacher, he was my mentor. He was everything for me. He was my ideal. He was great. He's a great person. He's a great person. And I used to went to his house every time because when I joined architecture, because of the some political disturbances, this our college used to shut down because of the government changes and so many different volatile or many different things happens. So that's why college all the colleges need to shut down for 1 or 2 months. So for during that period, I just went to his house, and there were so many bunks also happened because of this political disturbance in the entire country in 1992. I'm talking about.
92.
So yeah. So then I used to go to his house, whether I'm getting one vacation or two vacation or one holiday, whatever. I said I will come. Now give me some work. So that kind of passionate I was. And after second semester, I went to his house and said, I'm free for 2 months. I want to work. I want to learn from you in your office. And then he started giving me work. So that kind of passion I was having. Even if I'm free for 1 week, I used to went to his house and his office. Actually, his office was in his house.
Oh,
Yeah. So from there I learned. From there I learned, and then this was the kind of passion that I was having about the architecture.
yes.
So then it my journey start as an architect, and then my designing skills also improved. My building construction skills also improved tremendously. And then in the seventh semester, I joined very big architect as a trainee as
Wow.
an architect Romi Ghosla. And after seeing his office, such a huge office, and the kind of detailing and the kind of architecture that he was practicing that time, that was mind-boggling.
Wow.
Absolutely stunning, absolutely wonderful. I was not ever thought of that this kind of architecture is also possible.
Wow.
Yeah, he was practicing on adventurous architecture. So because of that idea, which he was, practicing in his office, that idea came to. I mean, I just adopted that idea. So I also try to make bold and creative designs and adventurous designs in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So talking about the designs, sir. Now this was around something 25 to 30 years back, right? So what are some of the changes in design approach that you have seen from that time to today's period, sir? Changes in approach to
lot of
design.
lot of lot of design, ideas that change. Global warming came, and I mean, this coronavirus is also across around the corner. It is still there. So I mean, after getting into the education and after getting into the research, while after coming into the LPU, I was really get to know about the research. So then I get to know that how to create environment which is very healthy.
Hmm.
Yeah. Now,
Yes.
there's a lot of research that happens in the medical field, like making an injection and
Yes, sir.
some other, tablets, or I mean, so many different, things that are there, which are actually immunizing our body and creating some antibody so that we could fight to these kind of, pandemic. But in architecture also, a lot of research happened, and that research happened since many years, but this is not actually transferred to the main public or general public, or even architecture student or architecture colleges, because that is confined to only a small area, very small area. So after
Yes.
doing all this research, then I get to know that we are living in a room or in a house or in a building. So if that building is becoming a healthy, I mean, if we are creating some kind of natural spaces in that, bringing some nature into the spaces, and creating some spaces which are really healthy, and the building is healing. Actually, what happens is all the material which are there in your room, in your house or in your building, all are emitting volatile organic compound, which are hazardous to health. Yeah,
Yes.
even during the night also, when you are sleeping, these kind of compounds are there and you are inhaling. So if you create some kind of environment that the air which you are inhaling, that is healthy, so obviously you will immunize your body, your
Yes, sir.
life, and if you are healthy, certainly you'll do whatever you want to do in your life.
Yes, sir.
So so that kind of changes came into my mind after jumping from adventurous, bold, and creative architecture to now at this stage. If I get a chance to make a building, then I'll create something which is very healthy, very healing, and people will be living. They'll be living more than 5 years of the life which they used to live in the other buildings,
Yes, sir.
and their health will also be maintained. So that kind of
Yes, sir. Because
that is just a matter of research that I learned, and I want to create all along with the real architecture that happened in my life. Yeah,
absolutely. So sustainability is the new trend, sir, and that we have to adapt in our designs whatsoever. No matter what the design asks us to do, we have to add the sustainability to it.
yeah, it is just
Um,
a addition to the sustainability, creating some healthy and healing spaces all along with the sustainable
yes.
architecture.
Yes, absolutely. So now this question comes from the student inside me. So in school, so in school when we just make mistakes in our designs,
Yeah.
the worst thing that can happen is that we can get some bad marks.
Hmm.
But in reality, in practice, the cost of mistakes is generally much higher when we are practicing architecture.
True, true, true.
So yes, sir. So, what are some of the mistakes, the common mistakes that you see in the designs of the students, and what suggestions do you want to give to them?
The major mistake which I find in my students, in all the students, not only my students, with all the students, is attitude.
Yes, Yes, sir.
not the aptitude. It's the attitude.
Gratitude.
Now student don't have any kind of patience in working. They want a quick result. They want very fast and quick result. They want to make a single line, and they see that we want 100 marks out of 100, or not 100, at least 80 or 90 or whatever.
90.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that kind of patience is lacking.
Yes, sir.
Second thing, they don't want to live with their work. That's the real problem. So overnight, they want to create something which is magic, which is not possible. Success
Yes.
cannot come in a day.
Exactly, sir. Exactly.
It takes a lot of hard work, lot of patience, and lot of commitment. And you have to be very conscious and focus about about your future. Then only when you are traveling towards that and making a goal, and then only this success will come to you. This is a consistent efforts. Your aptitude is low, doesn't matter. Your attitude should always be high.
Yes, sir.
That's the real problem of students. But I try to put that kind of attitude in them. Maybe some of their consciousness may wake up and they'll create something magic. That's what
Yes.
I'm still struggling to find something, these kind of things in my students.
Yes, sir. So we'll try to do our best, sir, no matter what.
Yeah.
Uh, so my next question, sir, as you teach design to us, so in every design we have to develop a concept that is really enticing. So that thing comes naturally to some of the students, while some may struggle. So what are the tips that you can give, for developing a designing philosophy, concept developing philosophy? So any ideas?
Bit of philosophy comes in years, in many years.
Yes, sir.
Concept is an idea. Yeah, concept is an idea. And idea can come from anywhere. You can be inspired by anything, anything. You can be inspired by flower. You can be inspired by some animal. You can be inspired by some functional aspects. You can be inspired by some emotions that you are carrying, some feelings you are carrying. So, I mean, whatever you are inspired by, you try to implement that. Now, what happens is students, I mean, this is my experience in last 11 years. A student like you, they really think something great. They have a wild mind. Wild means that can run anywhere, anywhere. We are, our mind is completely tangible. Creativity is very low because we have run through some pathway, and beyond that pathway ideas cannot come or cannot hit. But you are completely wild. Idea can come from all over. But only the problem by you in your guy in your age, or in your age group, is that you develop idea, but you yourself are doubtful that whether this idea is fulfilled or not, it will work or
Yes.
not. Yeah, idea is there,
Yes.
idea is there, but you yourself are doubtful.
Yes, sir.
That
I
doubt
agree.
is always there. So that's why you always drop the idea and try to create something new. So concept means whatever the idea that hit to your mind, just try to put that